I don't know how he got elected to begin with.
Joe was a little sleepy sometimes. He felt like he was a little sleepy, like he's getting tired. Maybe it's a little too much for him.
Once more, I don't have the foggiest idea how you got chosen for Start with Hello Joe. Caused that F up we problems man 50 composed sternly in his subtitle, requesting the president return to work and assist with settling these worldwide issues. Joe was somewhat languid some of the time. He felt like he was a little drowsy, like he getting worn out, and perhaps it's excessively much for him. FY sent is discharging shots at President Joe Biden and calling him out for going on an oceanside excursion while the world is near the precarious edge of the Second Great War. Joe Biden, as of late, took one more getaway with his significant other, and individuals are justifiably shocked that the president is unwinding while the conflict in the Center East furies on, and the typical cost for most everyday items in the U.S. is getting more unmanageable, and many individuals via virtual entertainment are currently joining Fent and getting down on Biden for hauling the US into another silly conflict that will cost the citizens billions of dollars and possibly dive the US into another devastating monetary downturn. So what precisely did Fent say about Joe Biden? And what is his opinion about Biden running for reappointment in 2024 in spite of the most recent surveys showing that most Americans oppose Biden as president? We should separate it out. I don't have the foggiest idea about continuing presently Phi's message in the inscription of his Instagram post. How about we simply give them some break? Everyone loves break semi. So if I sent is going off on Biden for what he accepts is Biden's finished deficiency to run the country. Fighty completely illuminated online entertainment this end of the week, going off on President Biden for loosening up on an oceanside in Delaware, while tumult keeps on unfurling in the Center East by the manner Biden's Delaware trips have previously cost the state a large number. Of the president and First Woman Joe Biden have made it their normal practice to withdraw to their homes in Greenville and the seaside sanctuary of Rob Oceanside on some random end of the week. You could detect President Biden cycling or going to chapel. Applause administrations, and keeping in mind that it's to be expected for a leader of the U.S. to go through ends of the week outside the White House. The recurrence of President Biden's excursions to the principal state has provoked many individuals to scrutinize the monetary ramifications for Delaware. And the copying question is exactly how long do the Bidens genuinely dedicate to Delaware? And what's the related monetary effect on the state? Well, as per Delaware Online, Biden has made 76 outings to Delaware since his initiation, and Newcastle Province spent more than $3. $2 million on police and crisis clinical benefits for the president in the beyond 3 years now. This is now reason enough for American citizens to be vexed. However, the way that Biden and his significant other chose to take one more excursion to Delaware when the contention in the Center East is taking steps to transform into the Second Great War got individuals totally enraged at Biden. And one of these individuals is F.Y. Sent, who previously called out Biden in the past for his problematic strategies. Last year, Fent openly pummeled Biden for his purported free crack pipe dispersion plan and hauled him on Twitter. Back in February 2022, the Biden organization declared a $30 million damage decrease plan, which should supply drug clients with safe smoking units and supplies, with the objective to advance safe medication use and advance racial value. Well, FY felt it was insane to distribute break smoking supplies to junkies. And he posted a screen capture showing the title from a day-to-day mail article about Biden's drive and wrote in the subtitle "Oak." I don't have the foggiest idea about what's happening presently. We should simply give them some break. Everyone loves break. Shaking my head. Fitty was likewise as of late inquired as to whether there ought to be an age limit for U.S. presidents, following far and wide worries that 80-year-old Biden is unsuitable to run the nation. And this is the thing he needed to say regarding that Joe is somewhat sluggish some of the time. He felt like he was somewhat drowsy, like he's getting drained. and perhaps it's excessively much for himself and FY, is currently once again at it again, hauling President Biden, this time over his new excursion to Delaware, while the U.S. is confronting worldwide. Clash Fitty first shared this photograph of President Biden and the Maine woman relaxing on an ocean side, and wrote in the subtitle, "Hello Joe, cause that F up we problems man." The next day Fitty shared a screen capture of an article about him hauling Biden, and he multiplied down on his past message, composing, "We got some genuinely moving on around here. Joe, what's the arrangement? To get a tan and chill, come on, now yet Fitty." Didn't stop there. He later shared a screen capture of one more title about him thumping Biden for going on an excursion and composed duck. "We want initiative in emergency. Joe, we don't anticipate that you should have every one of the responses. Yeah, you got to think of something." One of Fitt's posts was subsequently shared by Donald Trump on his reality social stage. Anyway, Fitty then took to Instagram to explain that his remarks about Biden are not tied in with favoring one side, but rather contemplating what is happening that is influencing customary individuals. "I have no political goals. I'm simply verbally processing FI. Composed assist me with this. What do we do? I know I'm by all accounts not the only one who can feel is gaining out of influence." Fitty later shared a class from Fox News Ready, where the anchor said they were shocked that a rapper was remarking on the continuous emergency, and Fitty composed, "Who knew rapper Fitty sent would see we got 3 significant fear-monger networks supported by superpowers enacted." And he snidely added, "Oak, I'll pass on this to the specialists anyway." Fitt's fans and devotees are saying he ought to continue to shout out on the grounds that the standard citizen's cash is being utilized to subsidize wars and atrocities, while the cost for many everyday items emergency is getting more crazy constantly. Many fans are saying it doesn't make any difference what your legislative issues are on the grounds that the president lying on the ocean front when the situation is spinning out of control is definitely not a decent look. The motivation behind why Fitt's remarks resounded with such countless individuals is that more Americans are presently maintaining various sources of income to get by, which implies less excursions, less time enjoyed with families, and more pressure. So, to see the supposed go-to person for everyone who loves freedom in exceptional times, essentially working like it's a temporary occupation, is naturally disappointing to many individuals, paying little mind to who they decided in favor of. One fan remarked on one of Fitt's posts, "Continue to make some noise. This is completely organized, and universal conflict II is unavoidable." And one more fan said, basically, "This rapper thinks often about our country, dissimilar to Joe by the manner in which President Biden is composing for reappointment in 2024. Anyway, the most recent surveys show that 54% of Americans dislike his administration. As a matter of fact, in October, Biden's prevalence was close to the least level of his whole administration. Other than the different abroad contentions, many individuals likewise feel Biden isn't doing what's necessary to settle the cost for many everyday items emergency in the U.S., as he keeps on burning through cash unnecessarily to keep the conflict machine going. As per the most recent studies, a significant 64% of the functioning populace is battling with monetary pressure. One overview likewise showed that an astounding 80% of more established 20 to 30-year-olds, explicitly those between the ages of 35 to 44, are feeling pressure tension over cash. In the meantime, Biden as of late requested that Congress endorse his proposition for $16 billion that would help Ukrainian and Israeli conflict endeavors, with a greater part of that cash going to military supplies. President Biden just proposed $106 billion due in financing for Israel, Gaza, and Ukraine. This is the way it's divide up 14. $3 billion will go to Israel's Guard 3. $7 billion of that is for security at the U.S. Israeli International Safe Haven. However, the White House says the rest will be utilized to reinforce Israel's military and guarded frameworks. 9. $15 billion is for general compassionate help with Ukraine, Israel, and Gaza. Yet the White House doesn't determine how that help will be appropriated between those three anyway. Biden's reps have now answered the backfire and 50 pennies late reactions, guaranteeing that Biden is completely equipped for satisfying his official obligations. Even from his excursion house in Delaware, the White House delegate Representative Andrew Bates gave an assertion saying, as has been the situation for pretty much a century, presidents can execute the full scope of their obligations from any place on the planet. Whether it's a disaster area in Israel or 100 mil from the White House in Delaware, Bates proceeded to say that Biden works extended periods of time consistently and has gained ground towards entry of his supplemental to safeguard our public safety increment line, subsidizing, and develop our economy. Anyway, a great many people aren't accepting this, and they're favoring Fiddy and getting down on President Biden for not viewing his administrative role in a serious way and seriously jeopardizing residents. One Twitter client composed Biden is truly going to utilize our citizen dollars and understudy loans to finance atrocities, and afterward fault dark and earthy colored people for not having any desire to decide in favor of him 1 year from now. 3 conflicts start off under Biden's